Hey guys, Joebizz34 back again. This has been a pretty busy week for me, starting with my Halloween video, and now this bad boy's showing up. The law has come to my home, and that's exactly what I said when I posted a picture. And this guy has been anticipated all summer long, and there's been a lot of secrecy and controversy over this one because it is a underground kind of unlicensed figure of that guy from that film, as the way I've heard him being mentioned as by other people. And that's the ongoing joke. There is no mistake who this guy represents, and for the sake of respecting the low-keyness that's been occurring, I'm going to stick with that and not really mention any names or anything like that. I did get this from an online dealer, and a couple people asked me, like, where'd you get it from? Which I don't understand why, because this thing was originally plastered all over the place, but then a lot of dealers kind of took it down, or, you know, kind of took it off their website or didn't want to talk about it. The pre-orders, from as far as I know, all still went through, but it wasn't really advertised due to controversy, licensing issues and all that stuff. So out of respect of the person that I got it from, and it's not anybody that I've normally mentioned, it is an online dealer that I've dealt with a few times in the past, bought certain things from this particular place, and I would love to give them credit and give them props and give them a shout out, but out of respect for not advertising or their privacy, because they again want to keep it off the record per se, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I will save that shout out and, you know, give them props another time when I buy something else from them, maybe in the future, that you know, I could do that. But anyway, getting to the figure at hand, as you see behind them, I mean, as you could see, there's no doubt who it is. And you know, it's funny because in the promos, you know, when you first saw this figure, I thought like others did, where it seemed to be a hybrid between that guy that played this character in that first film in the 90s versus the newer film, and it kind of looked like a combination of the two. And I think that's mainly because of the face. Some people thought that the likeness was kind of honoring maybe both people that played the character. But in person, and especially with the helmet off, you can clearly see that it is all the new guy from the newer version of the film and not the other guy at all. The only reason why I would think that maybe he looks a little bit more like the other actor is because the face is a little more drawn, like a little thinned out, maybe a little more. And some people have complained that the helmet sits a little too high, which may give that type of impression. You know, overall, I don't have a problem with it, and you know, I get maybe wanting to lower the helmet a bit, but if you look at the stills from the film, or if you look at the actual film itself, the visor of the helmet does sit above the nose, maybe not quite as high, I don't know, maybe it should be slightly lower, but overall, looking at the figure, I have no problem with the look of it. I am not going to touch it or mess with the helmet, because, you know, at the end of the day, the visor did not cover the nose. It does sit slightly above the nose. And I'm gonna move the box out of the way because I want to show you the box, but I want it to be, it's a little dark, I think, with the box, you know, behind him. So let me pull out so you can kind of get a little, see if I switch the view, so you can kind of see him a little better, a little more light there. You know, it's a little dark in here. It's a cloudy, rainy day today, and that's why it's a little maybe darker in here and having a little trouble seeing him. But anyway, you know, again, it's a beautiful figure for the price. You know, you're talking mid 100s. You know, you know, anywhere from 130 to 150 range, depending on shipping and depending where you get it from. And for what you get, I mean, it's Hot Toys quality. And despite the fact that it has a couple of flaws, you know, what figure doesn't? You know, people complain about every figure having a flaw or two, whether it's Hot Toys, Enterbay, custom made. You know, nothing is perfect, and this is no different. So for the price, I think you're getting a pretty solid figure here. And I don't really see, you know, the body is sturdy, the articulation's good, the outfit is, you know, and helmet, everything is outstanding. The sculpt is good, you know, especially, you know, the part of the face you do see. And, you know, I don't have a problem with it. I do have a couple of nitpicks, and I'm going to get into that. And the two nitpicks I have mainly are pretty much the most common nitpicks that people have said about the figure. Okay? And that is that the shoulder pads are not gold enough. You know, when you look at the badge, you can see it's gold. It's not bright gold, but it's kind of got that rusted, worn look, which is fine. And same thing with the gold on the helmet, as you can see there. But the problem is, and then the gold here on the belt is far more gold and new looking, you know, than the rest of the costume, as you can see there. So I think that the shoulder pads, you know, although they were trying to go for that hint of gold, kind of like dirty, maybe weathered look, they kind of, so you could kind of see that there is a hint of it there, but it's too subtle. I would like to see it match more like the badge and the helmet more. So I've seen people do custom paint work on it. I have gold paint. I'm gonna dry brush a little gold, I think, on the areas of the shoulder pads. I'm not gonna overdo it. I don't want to make it look brand new or all like shiny, like the belt buckle. I want to kind of make it match more like the way the badge looks. Just dry brush a little bit to give that little more hint of gold there, that you see it a little more better than what you see. So that's the one gripe, and again, slight nitpick. It still looks good, all right? And the other thing I would say is the hands. A lot of people are complaining about the bendy hands. Now, again, I do understand the hands being a little annoying, but I think if you futz with it a little bit and you kind of give it a chance, you know, the bendy hands kind of grew on me. What I like is that because it's a bendy hand with a full glove over it, you don't get any kind of joints exposed or anything like that, as opposed to having sculpted gloves. And you know, you do have the freedom to bend the fingers and kind of do what you want. And you know, it has its positives and negatives. I'm not going to lie. So I understand why some people may not like the fact that the hands are bendy. Okay, I get it. But overall, I do like the hands. I don't mind them. So again, it's just a little nitpick. So I say between those two nitpicks, and I think they're fixable nitpicks. You know, if you really don't like the hands that much, you can get different hands and maybe replace them, you know. And again, if you don't like the lack of gold on the shoulder pads, you can do something about it. You know what I mean? You can dry brush a little more gold on there and fix it. Little things to worry about overall. The rest of the outfit and the boots and the detail in the boots, look at the buckles there and everything like that, are phenomenal. I'm blown away, honestly. I really, really dig this figure. And I think overall for what you get, and like I said, the fact that it's not technically licensed and the fact that you're paying such a good price, I don't see how anybody can complain. This figure is, you know, is getting a lot of love on the net and on the social media outlets and the, you know, the message boards and all that, you know. So you know, I think that most people would agree that the figure is a win, you know, and kicks butt, and I agree. You know, and like I said, there's certainly, you know, when I see something I want to fix, I'll fix it. I'll do a little more gold in the shoulder pads. But as far as the bendy hands, I'm fine with it. I'm going to deal with it. The rest of the outfit, you know, I was thinking maybe I'd weather it up, but I kind of like it. You know, I may weather it a little bit and make it a little more, you know, maybe a little more worn here and there. I don't know. But overall, the figure's got presence. You know, the minute you put it together, it shines. You know, it just dominates. And that's what I like. I like a figure that just, you know, the minute you stand him up and you have him done, you know, he commands the room. You know, he's noticeable. It just has the right look, you know, and that's my opinion. I just think this is a success, more so than anything. And, you know, if there was ever an official one released down the road, you know, other than maybe some little differences, I don't really see, you know, what you could do that much better. Now, I'm going to get into my last little nitpick, and that's putting on the accessories. I don't have fingers for that, man. You know, I'm not from China, and you know those guys have it down pat. They know how to deal with little 1/6 stuff, and they're, you know, they're very detailed with their little zippers and their little you know, straps and stuff like that. Not so much me. But I'll get into that. You know, I'm going to have to stop the camera. I'm almost at my 10-minute mark, and then I'll be right back, and I'll get into the box, and I'll get into the accessories, okay? Alright guys, I'm back. So here's the box, and as you can see, it is made by Art Figures. Alright, you can see their Art Figures, and they make a lot of cool stuff. But they don't, you know, again, because of what's going on, they just kind of kept the box very plain and neutral. It's called the AF-Z115, or Z, or not Z, I'm sorry, AF015 or 015. And as you can see, it just says artistic interpretation. And, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, you got a little graphic on the back, too, of him. There's their website, art-figures.com. Okay, so, you know, not bad. And it's a typical box. I mean, it's nothing, you know, nothing major, but you open it up. It is held together with a little magnet kind of placement here that keeps the box shut. Little foam cover. And then when you open it up, you know, the figure was in here with all the accessories. Now, again, the annoying part is that due to, I guess, for whatever reason, you know, the figure came, you know, undressed basically. Well, I mean, he had his basic outfit on, but you had to put the jacket on with the badge. You had to put the helmet on, the gun, and all his little accessories, little tidbit thingies came separate, and that's where I was like, oh no. Now, there are people that are on, oh, it was easy, I got it all together in 5 minutes, and then there's other people that are like, well, you know, it took me like 2-3 hours. I hated it. I'm not going to go extreme either way. It didn't take me 5 minutes, but it didn't take me 2 hours. Okay? Like I said, I'm not cut out for the little stuff like that and putting it on. I prefer not to do it myself when it comes to, you know, connecting little straps or hooking things on. You know, these things are delicate. They break easy. And I did do some damage to the figure that I'll get into, but I definitely fixed it all, but it wasn't fun for me. It took me somewhere in between the extreme one way and the other. It took me about 45 minutes or so to an hour, and I did watch some videos of other people, you know, putting the figure together so I can kind of get a sense of, you know, the right place and where to put everything on the belt, so I knew exactly the order of where things went. So I'll give you a couple tips on that. Now, the only thing, I put it in this bag for now for safekeeping. Now, the only thing I can't figure out is they give you this extra part here that is the tip of his gun. And this one was the one that was on it. You can pull it out. I guess I found that out by accident, excuse me. And I put the other one on, as you can see the tip there. Now, I don't know if there's any difference, if it's just a spare, or if it's supposed to be different things, you know, like one maybe is a little longer or the other. I don't know. And I don't know where you're supposed to put the extra one, if you're supposed to just hold on to it, or if it's supposed to be somewhere on his belt or on his uniform. So if anybody knows what the extra piece is actually for, I mean, is it just a spare in case you lose one? Or is there a functional purpose for this extra, you know, gun? Is it like a silencer? I mean, what is it? If anybody has any ideas on that, let me know, please. In the meantime, I'm just keeping it in the box, okay? So that's the box. Now, what happened was, when I was putting this thing on, I'm going to see if I could change directions now. I want to get better lighting. So I'm going to put the box here, okay, and then I'm going to go this way. Okay, and I think that's better. I think, yeah, there we go. It's a little brighter over here, so you guys can get a better view of the figure from this angle. The one thing I'm going to warn you guys about, a couple things with this figure. I mean, a lot of people have gotten the figure already. There's been other videos, so, you know, if it's nothing you already heard, that's fine. But for people that have yet to get it or are thinking of getting it, I heard there's a second batch coming out in December or something like that. So for those people, just be careful when you're putting these accessories on. You see, there's most of the stuff that is on his belt are clip-ons, so you can clip the stuff on the belt if you put the belt on first. But if you put the belt on first, there's a couple things that have to be looped in with the belt. So you got to keep that in mind. Okay, so make sure. So I'm going to do this here so you can see, like, for example, his little grenade canister there. Okay, that's clipped, like there's a loop. So it holds in a little case, and then that case gets, the belt goes through, so it stays on the belt. Also, this pouch. Okay, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to put on a little light so you guys can see even better from my cell phone. Hold on. Alright, there you go. So now you can really see now. So the pouch and that little grenade thing in the front there is looped into the belt along with the top part of the holster. Okay, there's a piece that loops into the belt that holds the holster in place along with the straps that you have to go around the legs, and that is a mission in itself. The rest of the stuff, like his first aid kit there and his holders of the other clips, those all just slide on the belt. So you could put that on the belt after the fact, okay? So that's okay. But you want to make sure that you get that pouch and the little grenade holder there, all right, and the holster. You want to make sure that that all goes first. Now, I'm going to put the light back on here. Now, for the holster, the straps here are very hard to clip on because it feels like they can't fit around the leg. And what I did was, what somebody else suggested, is to put the holster on first, lower down the leg, almost by like the knee, by the knee pad. And then when you get them connected, slowly work your way up. I mean, don't be careful. You don't want to damage the clothing or anything, but slowly slide the holster up until you get it to around where it is now by the thighs and above, and the second strap being above that knee pad. And then with that, and then plus the the other part that's clipped into the belt there. See, it's looped into the belt on the very, very top. If you could see it right there, okay, next to the little gas grenade or whatever that is there. Once you got that all in, then you can fasten. Then you loop the belt through. The belt loops through the other side of the plate there, and then you can tighten it behind the plate and position it. Okay, and that's it. Now this other thing here, this little gas piece here, I don't know what, not gas. I don't know what it is. It's not a gas. The gas mask is actually in the pouch over here. This thing here has a little strap here that pops up, and you can button it closed, but I had a hard time getting that to stay closed. So since it's just basically a prop, because there's nothing functional about it other than that strap coming on up and down, whatever that is, that weapon or that detonator, whatever the heck that is in there, I don't know, doesn't come out. So I just took a drop of glue and I just made that strap glue right down so it stays closed, because it wasn't staying closed. The other thing is that the clip holders hold up to 4. Now, if you think you're missing one and you're going nuts trying to find it, well, don't despair. The 4th clip is in the weapon, is in the gun, which is right there. You could take it in and out of the handle. Okay, so you do technically have 4 clips. So you could take the clip out and make it, if you're completionist and you want all 4 clips there, you could put it there. Otherwise, you got one empty slot which has it in the gun. Okay, and the gun is very cool. And there's that piece, like I said, that there's like an extra tip that they give you for the gun, and I'm not really sure what that's about. So again, if somebody knows if there's a difference in sizing or if there's a reason, let me know. The zipper, once you get the vest on, the zipper zips up pretty easily considering it's small. Just be careful. And then when you put the strap, you have to put the loops around the arm. So as you're putting the vest on, you got to kind of, there's straps that hold the shoulder pads to the arm that you kind of have to work your way up, okay? Now, the other problem I had is this shoulder pad, right, or this elbow pad here, popped off when I took the figure out and broke off the outfit. But just a little glue, I just placed it right back where the other one, to be in line with the other one. All right, which is right there, and it glued back. Now with this extra lighting, you can kind of see what it shines. You can see that it does have the gold color on the shoulder pads, like I said. It's just that it's just not noticeable enough. So I would say that's a little nitpick. And again, I'm terrible at these accessories, like putting these little things on. I broke the clip for the grenade thing, not the grenade thing. I'm sorry. The thing here, this thing back here, the pocket knife. It comes with actually like a Swiss pocket knife, which actually opens and closes, which is cool. And it's right there. See it? I'm shining light right there. I don't want to drop the figure. I'm trying to point and shine the light on at the same time. Right there. And it has a clip, and I glued it back on very carefully because I did snap it off, and then I was able to glue it back on where it still was functional, and I was able to get it on the belt. Another clip that popped off is this one for the medical kit, right here. But there's a little slot in there that you can actually just put it back in, and then the clip stays and you can still clip it on the belt. So again, I had some issues. And I'm not good with these little 1/6 figures, like with these little accessories. I have King Kong fingers. So for me, it's a little frustrating, to be honest with you. But, if you give it a little time and you accept the fact that, this is going to take me about a half hour to an hour or maybe more, and you really take your time, you can get the figure all set up, and once you do, he's good to go. Now, the other thing, too, there's straps that are by the gloves here. Again, let me shine the light on it because it's very dark. And there's little Velcro pieces here, so by default, the straps kind of hang off, so it looks like it's just dangling there. but you can actually tighten that and actually put it onto the Velcro strap to hold it in place. So once you do that, you know, and here it is on the other glove as well, right there. See, I'm trying to find, there you go, right there. And if you Velcro it down, it'll stay nice and neat, and it'll look like closed, okay? It won't be just dangling there in the wind. And that's it. You know, there it is. There's, sorry for the darkness. If we do that, that might be a cool look. There you go. Woohoo! So, you know, because he's very black and he's dark, you know, in this lighting, everything's kind of blending in. So with a little help from my phone flashlight app, you know, there you go. Ooh, woohoo! So anyway, awesome figure. Like I said, for the price and everything else, he's well worth it. And if you're on the fence about getting him, you know, despite all the controversy and everything else, if you got a shot at getting one, just get it. For the price, you can't go wrong. Even if you decide to upgrade it. Let's say you get one and then you want to work on it and customize it and change some things, which some people have done with the helmet. I'm not too, you know, I'm okay with the helmet. I don't mind where the visor sits. I'm just going to leave it be and leave it the way it was intended. But again, you know, I've seen people lower the visor. I've seen people paint the shoulder pads, which I think I will do to make it more gold. You have one incredible figure here. You really do. And, you know, out of 5 stars, I would give it about 4.5. And that's it. You know, he is the law. That guy from that film right there. Awesome. All right, guys, till next time, peace out. I'll be back with more stuff soon. Peace out, guys.